Hello there, guys, girls, gamers, everyone! It's me, GenuineParts, and we're back in Kira! And we are currently in the... what's it called? A training room? A studio. A training studio. A practice studio! Okay, and we have met, you know who. I never remember those names.
そうだね。わかった。じゃあとりあえず練習風景は見せてもらうよ。でも僕にアドバイスできることがあるかどうかはそれから決めたい。
There's nothing you can do. Literally nothing you can do. He finally gives in. And so we start our first studio practice with him. When we adjust the instrument's volume according to the drums, the studio is filled with the loud sound. But it doesn't even take an hour for us to get used to it. Jeannie must be thrilled to be able to play the real drums, but seems like she's more nervous than anything. Even I get a little nervous knowing a pro is watching us. Kashiwara, who's playing the same instrument as Tonoya, must be feeling the pressure more than the rest of us.
思ったよりいいね。
Well, you certainly haven't heard them playing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, or you would quit music, like altogether, forever. Music's dead. When we finish the song we've been practicing, Tonoya nods slightly.
まだ楽器始めてから1ヶ月くらいだっけ。それにしてはうまいよ。毎日真面目に練習したって感じがする。
Thank you.
これからどうしたらいいとかありますか？
Just keep doing what you're doing?
そりゃいっぱいあるけど、でも始めたばかりだから当たり前だよ。このまま練習を続けたらそれなりに良くなると思うよ。それでいいんじゃないかな。文化祭で楽しくやるのが目的なら。
What if it's our goal to make a real band?
本当ですか？
Kashiwara has sparkles in her eyes, but one thing bothers me.
楽しくやるのが目的ならってどういうことかしら？
I can't get over the sometimes really clunky stuff. Would you say that sentence? Would you repeat the whole thing he said in what you mean by that? No, I bet money you wouldn't. No. I guess Jeannie felt the same way since she asks a question.
それはほら、いや、変な意味じゃないんだ。僕さ、
You're not
日
good
本
at
語が上手じゃ
Japanese?
ないからうまく言えないんだ。あのね、バンドってのはね、真面目にやろうとすると結構しんどいから。いや、バンドだけじゃなくて、世の中って全部そうなのかもしれないけど。だからね、つまり、
Was it explained what his origin is? Like, is it Chinese? Why is he not good at Japanese? Isn't that like his native language? Am I missing something again? Is it the translator that just put that in? I'm not good at Japanese, man. What are you asking me for? Tonoya tries to find words.
僕さ、バンドは結構真剣だから。
Okay. Okay. Jeannie replies and waits for his next words.
だから、
Tonoya twists his neck.
そういうこと。
I don't think that explains anything. You don't think we can last as a band if, like, we try to be a real serious band? I don't get it. Yeah. Yeah? Toyoya looks rather sad.
あの
Kashiwara interrupts.
私たちにとってもこの部活にとっても最後の舞台だからそれなりにきちんとしたものにしたいんです。
そうなのよ。そりゃトノヤくんみたいにライブハウスでずっと活躍してる人からすれば、春から始めて夏の文化祭が目標のバンドなんておままごとみたいに思えるかもしれないけど、でも私たちは。
いや、そうは思ってないな。目標が何だっていつ始めたってそれがどんな理由だってそんなの問題じゃない。
Okay, Tonoya's words are full of power. I can hear his strong will in them. They must be coming from deep inside of him.
うん。僕はね、ほら、教えたりあれこれ言うのはいいんだ。誰かに知識を役立てることができるならそれは素晴らしいことだと思う。ただね、僕はどうしても変に真面目になっちゃうから君たちの楽しみを台無しにしちゃうんじゃないかってね。僕の方法論って自分のために考えたものだから人には到底受け入れられないものかもしれないし、だからあんまり人の演奏にごちゃごちゃ言うのもどうだろうって、最初からそれが心配でずっと迷ってたんだ。
そんなの
We hear Kirari shout from the speaker with full volume, so we all cover our ears.
うわ、キラリ、マイクマイク。
あ、ごめん。
Yeah, it's okay. Kirari apologizes and turns the switch off.
でもね、トノヤくん、そんなの大丈夫だよ。みんな本当に上手くなりたいんだから。
What does her shirt say? Sweetsholic? Sweet. That's a strange. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. That's a strange age, but I guess it's Sweetsholic.
そうなのか。
うん、あのね、私もびっくりしちゃったんだけど、すごいんだよ。みんなの手とかね、もう皮がボロボロなんだ。サリナちゃんも白くて綺麗な手が水ぶくれでボロボロになっちゃったし、おしゃれなちえちゃんも絆創膏でベタベタだし。
I do understand that, you know, playing the guitar and bass, I guess, does ruin your fingertips. But do drumsticks really ruin your hands? Kirari grabs Kashiwara's hands and sticks them in front of Tonoya. Her right fingertips have band-aids all over, which made it look painful.
前島くんはあんまりそうでもないけどさ。
Yeah, we have rough hands, we man. Hey, don't make it sound like I haven't been practicing. My fingers have tough skin, that's all.
わかってるよ。テニスいっぱいやったからだよね。
Yeah. I know it, but in truth, the reason why the skin on my thumbs is tough is not because the tennis, but from playing games. Well, I guess that's console gamers who have that. We have the mouse callus, you know, here. That's how you can know an avid gamer, because they have like a callus, or yeah, callus right here, with pretty tough skin. Guess that's where the hand rubs on the mouse pad.
とにかくみんな頑張ってるの。だからいろいろ言ってほしいな。
Fun fact, I don't have a mouse callus anymore. If you look, I don't have, I mean it's red now because I rubbed it all over, but I don't have it anymore. I have a pretty serious scar there because I fell off my bike one time and I had like a serious bike accident and I used the wrist to break my fall and that rubbed off all the skin there. And I put a stone in it, so there's no mouse callus there anymore, and it doesn't come back, seemingly. Tonoya hums and taps his forehead with his fingertip. Is this his thinking pose? Also, I don't know why I'm going off on a tangent right now. Sorry. Hey, Tenuya, I think I understand what you're saying, but I appreciate it if you could help. What do you think? Do you think you can help us? I beg him one more time.
そうか。
Tenuya thinks. We wait for his answer in silence. Then he opens his mouth.
わかった。僕でよければ力になろう。でも、どうなるか知らないよ。
That's okay.
やった
Yay, you made the girls happy!
ありがとうございます。
The girls are delighted. I guess they were worried about doing it with only amateurs. Phrasing! Boom! I'm sorry!
じゃあ、よろしくお願いします。トノヤ先生。
先生か。
Oh, they call him Sensei. Tenuya squints when Shinee calls him that. Maybe he kind of likes it.
じゃあ目標は文化祭のステージ。素晴らしい演奏ができるよう一緒に頑張ろう。僕はね、自分が関わったバンドがつまんないって言われるの大嫌いなんだ。やるんならちょっとアドバイス出すだけじゃなくて、練習の仕方とかもっとごちゃごちゃ言っちゃうかもしれない。それでもいい？
Yep, you are pretty wordy. Of course, we have no objections. Actually, we appreciate it.
わかった。君らには絶対にすごいバンドになってもらうから、厳しくやるよ。覚悟してね。
So, this is how Tenuya became our teacher. Tenuya didn't lie about his serious attitude. Starting the next day, he puts us through rough practice sessions. First, he makes us stop practicing on the rooftop. Instead, we start to practice on the riverbank. What's the groove is indispensable for a band, and we must put our sound together, according to him. That's why we have to move to a place where we can play as loud as possible. Okay, so I was asking what's the reason, but they explain it. Tenuya has outdoor equipment such as batteries at his house, so we all help to carry them out. We really appreciate that he not only agreed to give us advice, he lets us use his equipments. That shows how serious he is. His storage in the backyard is filled with musical equipment. He says some were given to him and some he found and mixed himself. Now, the storage is his room, and he spends his time here surrounded by instruments. That's so like Tenuya. Classical Tenuya. He even has a drum set. Since he isn't using it, we carry it out for Genie to use. He says that she can use it for the performance, of course. That's the problem when you read further than, you know. Of course, but also for practice. How generous of him. That solves my problem, the problem of the drums. Tenuya's sister helps us by loading and driving the drum set. Tenuya's sister is excited to see how many girls we have, which embarrasses Tenuya. According to her, the only people he brings home are weirdos, and this is the first time he's ever brought girls who are his age. Is she right? Kanto of Star Generation is known for being able to find a girl anytime. I assume he must see the girls behind her back, so I don't believe her at all. After that, Tenuya tells me he really doesn't lead a life that has anything to do with girls. He was a rocker since he was little, I guess. That's too bad. So with Tenuya's coaching, our practice has gotten earnest. We don't only have regular practices, we also have these strange sessions, I guess, created by Tenuya called special training. That sounds wrong. We do things like this. It hasn't been long since we first started to practice at the riverbank. We can play as loud as we want by the river, that's true, but the riverbank is not a usual place to hold a bank practice. But if you ask me what it is for, I wouldn't know. I see many people who play with radio-controlled airplanes, but I don't think that's what it's for. I really don't know what the riverbank is for. Maybe it's a countermeasure against floods. But we rarely have floods. People use these open spaces as they wish. But we hardly ever see a band practicing. So, people who walk by stare at us. It's embarrassing to be stared at when we can hardly play. Yes, and that's what it's for. It's, you know, public exposure. According to Tonoya, playing outside helps us to get used to people watching us. But I think being watched by an old woman who's walking her dog or a couple on a date is a little different from being watched by an audience on the stage. Is it really that useful? But Tonoya said it's the same.
どうも気にしすぎ。今日でもう3日目なんだから、そろそろ慣れてくれないと。
He complains because we still sound a little stiff.
でも、向こうの人と目が合っちゃったから。
Even Kirari's volume has gone down, and this is her excuse.
でもさ、ライブの時、客と目が合うたびにいちいち歌うのをやめるの？そういうわけにはいかないよね。シーノさんだけじゃないよ。みんな人の目を気にしすぎ。文化祭でライブなんかやったら、通りかかっただけの興味ない人もたくさん見ることになるんだ。中には、なんでこんなうるさいことやってんだって悪意的な視線だってある。真っ暗なライブハウスと違うからね。後ろの方の客の顔まではっきり見えちゃうんだよ。そういうのにいちいち負けてたら演奏なんかできない。
そうだね。だけど後ろの方でおじさんなんかが怪訝な顔で見てたら辛いな。
Genie nods.
あのね、僕の目標としてはそういうね、興味がなくてたまたま居合わせたような人もしびれさせてしまうような、そんなバンドにしたいんだ。君たちをね。ああいう場所でやる以上はそれが理想だよ。だからこんな初歩的なことでひるんでちゃダメだ。
Stop it already. I think that's a high hurdle to jump over. I don't think I can do it.
できるよ。
He sounds really confident. He must really think we can do it. But to me, that goal really isn't realistic. I guess I'm not the only one who feels that way, as the whole bank has an uneasy atmosphere. When Tonoya notices that, he claps his hands.
よし、そうだ。今日は全体練習はやめて特訓をしよ
う。Special training? That reminds me of comic books.
そうとも。君たちが短い期間で一人前のバンドになるためにはね、やっぱり特別なことをしないとダメなんだ。
And so we embark on our first special training.
わあ、すごい。なんだか銀行強盗するみたいですね。かっこいいです。
Mai and Mitsuki, who came to help out, are very excited. The members of the second literature club are hiding in the forest. We are in a copse? Oh, yeah, with many overgrown trees. There are plenty of weeds on the ground and the soil is moist. The mosquitoes flying around us are bothering me.
本当にやるの？
Genie hugs her snare drum to her chest. Not that I can tell if it's really her by looking at her. That's because she's wearing a mask, like the one in the Mexican wrestlers wear, with the holes for the eyes and her mouth. But Genie isn't the only one who's looking like a weirdo with a mask. We are all wearing the masks. Tonoya got some wrestler's masks from his house and made us wear them. Because there weren't enough for everybody, Mai and Miyuki are wearing glasses with a nose, the kind you wear at parties. Also, Murakami was called in as a roadie, people who support the band by carrying and working on the maintenance of the equipment. Sometimes girls who are just hanging around are called roadies and some take advantage, but that's wrong. But because there aren't any masks left, he's wearing a headband with Kamikaze written on it. His face isn't covered at all. It is supposed to be a disguise. All the masks are from Tonoya's house. Is he a secret fan of pro wrestling? Anyway, our disguise is on. We look like we're attending a cheap costume party. We look pitiful. Can we see it too, please? However, I'm wearing the tiger masks, one of the most popular pro wrestlers, so I'm extremely happy. So here we are, hiding in the corpse looking like this. This is definitely a peculiar situation. I'll explain why we're doing this. No, we don't get to see us. In front of us is a grocery store filled with shoppers, but don't jump into conclusions, we're not going to rob it. We do look like robbers, but a special training for the band. I don't think anyone would rob a grocery store. At least I hope not. As proof, we are all carrying our own instruments. The rest of our equipment is on a cart, which Murakami and the girls are pulling along. This is what's going on.
こういうのゲリラライブって言うんだけどね。あそこの駐車場のところから入って店の出入り口の前で演奏してもらうよ。
Okay, Tenuya says as if it's nothing. I've heard about guerrilla life. Some famous people do that in the middle of the shopping arcade. A live performance without a notice. That's what he's making us do. But can we really do it? It's in the evening, there are a lot of shoppers, young moms with little kids, older women looking for bargains. The scene is absolutely normal. And that's where we're supposed to perform. Punk rock. If it's a famous band, then people might get excited, even if it's a sudden disappearance, but us? We can't even play that well. Would they even want to hear us?
ライブっていうのはね、楽器を相手にするんじゃなくて、客を相手にやるものなんだよ。その感覚を一度体感してもらおうと思ってね。人に音楽を聴かせるって感覚をまず理解した方がいいと思うんだ。
Normal music for normal people! Anyway, I guess this is it for this episode. I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.